What's your name?
Hilal.
Hilal. Hilal, I got a question for you, and I asked this question a lot of people. All right. And I want to hear your response. How old are you, first of all?
I'm 17.
You're 17 years old. My question is, what do you think that what is the purpose of life?
The purpose of life is to serve the one and truly God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to pray 5 times a day only to Him and just serve Him.
Five times a day. Just worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you
Yeah.
said. And namaz 5 times a day. Anything else you want to add?
You just gotta focus on your religion in the month of Ramadan.
All right.
Focus
So
on
let's
it.
add namaz or salah, Ramadan,
Yeah.
fasting. What else?
And just focus on your deen overall.
Focus on
your deen.
on
and
your
what's
deen.
righteous and what's wrong. And stay away from sin. And yeah.
I like it. You're only 17 years old. I
Yeah.
asked this question a lot of people, and trust me, they could not give me the answer whatever you given me in this age.
What have they said?
People, they don't even think about this thing nowadays. I don't know why. Even they've been sent to school to know what is their purpose of life. And after that, they went to college and uni and everywhere else. And you ask them by the age of 40, 50, 60, 70, what is your purpose of life? They just buckle. I don't understand why. It shouldn't be the first question in our life that what am I doing here on this planet? What I'm doing here? What is my purpose? Who sent me here? What I'm doing here, isn't it? What do you think? Why people, they don't understand? Why do they forgot that, what is my purpose?
I think it's because that you're asking questions in the wrong area, because you're asking questions in more of a Western country, so people in a Western country, they're more into the different education system. Within this education system, they're not going to be teaching them the Islamic view and like the religious view, but they're going to be teaching them something completely different. They're going to be teaching them stuff. My purpose is to just study, do this, and just die at the end. And they believe that after they die, nothing is.
But how come these Western people, they don't have this question in front of them, that what is my purpose of life? What is the purpose of life of this human being?
It's because they're not really like, I'll say they didn't really get true meaning and understanding of Allah and it's the religious aspect of Islam. I just say that we need to just strive towards that, help them to know the true purpose of what life is.
That's what we should do. That's right. That's what we're trying, with our own, and of course. But the problem is that a lot of people, they got busy making money, making houses, buying cars, commercialism, this and that. They don't have time for that. Who would do that?
The thing is, if they don't have time for that, it's completely their fault. Then, if they're gonna put their money and their jobs first, but they forget about their true purpose in this life, they're just gonna like fail ultimately at the end. Because this life is just temporary. It's just like this life is just a test, and then you can just enjoy your life in the afterlife, and then after that you can just enjoy everything. But here's just a test. Everything you see, it's just temporary. Only thing in this world that's promised is death.
That's right. You're right. You're a smart man.
Thank you.
Can I ask you one more thing? I know those people who give me this answer that my purpose is worship. No doubt, I believe that's the right answer. But what is worship?
Worship is just.
How do you define worship?
I'll define worship as just having like the belief that you're going to be serving and then you're going to be praying to one God and one God only, and then ultimately acting upon that by waking up for Fajr, for example. That the process of you waking up and then having the intention to go pray is seen as worship, and then you doing the act of going to sajda and sujood and all of that, and then that's just worship. And you putting your head down, that's seen as like worship.
What is the English definition of worship?
The English definition of worship, I think, is just, I would say it's just believing in one God, I think.
Believing in one God. In Arabic, they say ma'bud. And there is one is abd. You know who is abd?
Nah.
Abd is, our language will say, abd means servant. Abd is servant. So in our language, we will say employee or worker. If I say employee and employer, who is the employer?
No, yeah, it's the one that just
who sent us for the job. Why I'm saying employer, of course, the God is, above all of these things, but He has sent for us for a job. His position could be in today's grammar, because we do understand this language, employer and employee, and the relationship between them, that how the employee will work for employer, this contract, how I'm supposed to do this is called worship. What do you think? Is it easy to understand?
it's easy to understand.
How I'm going to worship, how I'm going to serve, or how I'm going to work for my employer. What my employer is looking for me. For example, first thing is believe or recognize who is your boss. If you don't know your boss, how would you take the orders?
That's true.
Second thing is be obedient to your employer. Whatever he is asking you, yes, sir. But you will see there are two types of employees. One employee, he say, yes, sir, I'm ready to obey. But in his heart, he's thinking, why are you giving me these orders? Why are you giving me these files? Why are you asking me all the time? What about him? What about that go? Or what about? Always thinking in their heart. But there is one employee, he is waiting for your command because he wants promotion. Give me the order, boss. This is called submission. Third thing is, in this contract, submission. First, belief, obedience, submission, and love. And God is asking us, employer is asking us, no other employer is asking this question, which that employer is asking. I want your whole love. Love more than what? More than your kids. If you're not married, more than your girlfriends. I'm joking. More than your parents. More than your comfort. More than your PlayStation. More than your wife. More than your own self. Whoa, that's a hard one, isn't it? And then the fifth thing which I've understood is fear. Fear of what? The fear that if my employer, my boss, will be unhappy, what will happen? If he'll kick me out from the job, what will happen? Because the employer, the boss, has got the control of each and everything. He is the one who has given me health. He is the one who got the keys and the buttons of each and every person. If he press this button, my parents, they can kick me out. If he press this button, my wife can be disloyal to me. If you press that button, all right, you don't want to be loyal to me. If you don't want to be obedient to me, no problem. Press the button, kids are gone disobedient. Why I should have this fear that my boss don't kick me out or doesn't get unhappy. Have a look, reverse psychology. If you see, what is your fear? What should be your fear? Should be your parents, your employer, or anyone else? No, God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who do you submit? And then obedient. This is your God. Did you get my point? That's
Yes,
what
I get your point.
that's good. Because thank you, man. Thank you so much for your time.
You too.
I'm really glad. Question in your mind. Think about it. If you got this question, one day you will be able to find out what is the right answer. That's what I believe. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.